So hi everybody, this is just a quick review on how to use Advantage for referees and referee coaches. When you log into the system, and everybody that's a member of USA Rugby gets access to the system. So when you log into the system, it'll take you straight to your dashboard. Now, as a referee or a referee coach, if you open up the widgets here, you'll see that you have something called a development plan. Now, most of the referees of the national pathway group or the regional pathway group will probably be expected to actually create a development plan. And as you can see, if you click edit here, you'll have a whole lot of different options: current reality, what does success look like, whether you go Scrum, etc. You can add something here, put some text in, and then you can save it, right? It gives you option to add a couple of more. Um, that's mostly for referees. When you go to matches, you'll be able to see all of the matches in the system. And as you can take notes over here, we've got 94 pages, so we've got almost 22,000 games in here. What you do in the beginning is that you actually create your own report. So for those refereeing in D1A and NIRA, you'd be able to go and select new report, and a new blank report will come up where you select the date. Gives you option to select the date. We normally try and do this at least the week beginning of the game. So, you can select what competition it is. In this case, say we use D1A, say round one, all the teams will be in here, right? Select the home team and select the colors. The reason why you select colors is so you can identify trends in the game, when it comes to penalty kicks, etc. Home team, away team. Your name for the referee, and then you select the reviewer if there's a reviewer on the game, right? And then once you save this, the report will be created. You've saved it, and then you can go and add your game plan focus areas, which is your lead up to the game. You'd normally share that with your coach if you have a coach assigned to the game, a referee coach. You get that ready beforehand. I'm not going to create this report now, but here are the reports. So it'll look like this, and you'll be able to upload the video, right? So when you go to click upload video, you'll be able to see over here, you can actually upload and drag the video. You can have first off, second off. Now, each video section that you upload, whether it's one video only, it can't be more than 5 GB because of the limitations of AWS, Amazon. If you have two parts, they also have to be below 5 GB each. There's a program called handbrake.fr. It's a free program. You can download it and you can process videos through that. I'll send an explanation of what settings you use to be able to reduce the video size before you upload it. So I'm just going to go back to these games over here, just to show you some examples. We can just go this match here, Mike Lawrence and Bob Hausler. You can see these stats once the referee codes the game. These stats appear over here on the main report. You can actually see what all the penalties are for, etc. These are the competencies. Now, the competencies, especially for those referees that haven't worked with them before, if you're doing a self-review, you can select the competencies you feel you've achieved in the game. If you have a referee coach, they will select the competencies. And the reason for them is to be able to identify the areas of development, the competencies you don't achieve, and the ones you want to focus on for the next game, so that there's always something for you to work on to move forward. So if you look over here, you've got view expanded competencies. They're also at the top in the navigation. You can view expanded competencies. There are 5 technical sections and 5 strategic sections, and you can actually it gives you all the information about all the areas and the competencies. And if you read them, you'll be able to learn so much about refereeing. Even, someone like myself who started getting involved in the game at age 6, every day we learn something more about the game. You learn whether you're a player, a team coach, a referee coach, referee manager. We're always learning something about the game, and we're always growing. We never get to that situation where we become static. We think we know everything. We're always learning. And the way that the competencies work is that there'll always be areas for you to be working on to improve on, right? So it provides a lot of support. And if you look further down below the competencies, we've created like these Tetris blocks, support blocks on how the competencies work. Like over here at the breakdown, you'll see that the first three competencies support the fourth competency. If you go to Scrum, they build on top of each other, right? So you can't get the top competency if you didn't get the ones below it, if you miss some of the ones below it. And you got to get the one below to get the one above it, unless they're not aligned. But they're there to help you and to understand. So when you select the competencies you've achieved yourself, you can understand how they work together. And for the referee coach, the same situation. So as a referee, once you're in your report and you've uploaded your game, you'll see that it says video here. You can go edit or create playlist. It'll be create playlist. I mean, just edit playlist now because it's already here. I'm actually going to go and select a different game because I wanted to show you a game like if we have team coaches involved. There's a good example over here of a match where team coaches added their comments into the game as well. So here's the report, the stats. They didn't complete the competencies. We want all the referee coaches to complete the competencies every game. Once you finish the report, you're going to go up here and you're going to click publish report. Because if you don't publish the report, team coaches can't see it. And if you don't publish the report, your stats don't go into the stats section. So you definitely want to do that. We're going to go to the playlist here. So when you click on create playlist or edit playlist, it takes you to the match video. The top section is where you add clips. The bottom section is the actual playlist. Right. So we're just going to expand this playlist over here just so you can see what it actually looks like. So over here, every clip that you put in, it's got a green ranking, which means it was well refereed or it's just positive, right? Everything else, areas that you want to work on, development areas, you can mark as yellow, and your referee coach will decide whether they want to mark it as yellow or leave it as green, and you'll have the discussion on the playlist here. The only clips that are marked red would be law errors or foul play missed. Those are the only two, law errors and foul play missed. Otherwise, everything else that you want to work on, or things where you think you might have made a mistake, tackled in a roll away, you missed a forward pass, etc., they'll all just be marked as yellow. Those development areas. So when you make a comment on the clip, all referee comments are in green, all ref coach comments are in dark blue. If you look further down here, you can see red comments. They're all made by team coaches. So if a team coach logs in and they look at the playlist, they cannot see the referee comments. They cannot see the referee coach comments. They can only see their own comments and the opposition coach comments, home and away coach comments. And then the light blue here would be the referee manager. So in this case, WPL, the referee manager, Amanda Cox, made comments in light blue. But the referee coach can also comment on, if the team coach makes a comment, the referee coach can also respond if they feel they need to. But we can always refer to the manager before you do that. So over here, we talked about the colors. You can go penalty kicks and you can see if there are any trends, like over here, it's not too bad, like 3 blue penalties in a row. Sometimes you can go and see 5 or 6 penalties in a row against one team and you wonder where were the penalties? What areas were they for? Were they repeated infringements? Was it something that the referee had to deal with to manage? So it provides you a lot of opportunity. When you add a clip, make sure that you put the clip is long enough that there's context in the clip, the beginning and the end, right? So wherever you are on the video, you've got full control. You can move the video forward 10 seconds, 5 seconds, except backwards as well. You can watch it in slow-mo. You can pause it and go frame by frame. It gives you a lot of controls. You can even fast forward if you really need to, right? But wherever you start the clip, see time in and time out. You can either go quick clips, goes 20 seconds either way, or you can just click in here and it'll get the beginning of the clip, go to the end of the clip, you click in there, records the end. Here is where you can rank it. I can't do that because it's not my game. Say, for instance, a tackle. The team penalized, say, for instance, you would mark them in here and you click penalty and it'll ask you what the penalty was for. So it's tackler not rolling away. It automatically puts tackler in there. And then you can write your comments in here and click add. And if you've got a clip in here that you want to adjust, you can adjust times and then update it, or you can change the comments if you want to update that. The thing that's great about the system too is that you can watch it in full screen. So if you go full screen mode, you can move these around. You've got your playlist here. This is where you actually add your comments, see new entries, and playlists is over here. So you can do it in full screen if you want. But the other thing that you can do as well is that you can share clips outside of the system, right? So if you click on here, you see this little download button to the right here. You click on that. What it does, it actually extracts that video for you. So it extracts an MP4 that you can download onto your computer. You see here, download MP4. You can email the link to somebody and they can look at it without having to necessarily be part of the system or be in the system. What they'll do is view link and tab. You can see this what it'll look like. And it'll only show the clip that you actually downloaded. It only cuts that clip out. And if you send it to someone, they can also watch it in slow-mo. They've got all the controls. They've got access to everything. So the things that you as referees would actually code in the game would only amount to about 80 things in the entire match, on average, on most occasions. So if we have a look here at the units, you're not going to mark every tackle. We just do penalties and free kicks, right? So the reason why you have tackle and ruck here is because the penalties are free kicks. Or, if it's going to be something like positioning, you can mark ruck and put the time in and maybe make a comment if you're talking about your positioning or something like that. Tackle ruck turnovers, quick throws if you want, scrum and scrum resets. Remember, if there's a scrum reset, the first version will be the scrum reset, the second one will be the scrum. Now, what you do is for penalties, you select the team that was penalized. For scrums and lineouts, you select the team who's throwing the ball in. So even if you might go, okay, we had a scrum and this team's for throwing the ball in, and you're going to select a penalty, don't go back and change the teams. As long as you got the team throwing in the ball the first time, that's correct. And also don't forget you got first and second half over here, right? First and second half. The other things that you're going to code, advantage scrum not gained or gained, advantage penalty kick gained, not gained. If you go advantage penalty kick not gained, and say you got a time in and you got a timeout and penalty kick advantage no gain, as soon as you add it, it'll duplicate those times for you. So then you can go, oh, it was okay, the tackle, it was a penalty kick against this team, right? So the advantage that you play is the team you're playing it for. And then, so if you're playing it for the red team, you can mark it. It'll automatically come up with a new clip for you that you can just mark the penalty and add that as well. Foul play, yellow cards, and then you also mark tries and scoring. Now, the next thing that you need to know is that if you're preparing for games too, and say you're going to referee one of these teams this coming week, you can always go to the games and you can go like, okay, I'm going to go and sort of see where they gave penalties away. You want to see, maybe you want to watch all their scrums. You can go through all the scrums. You can watch them scrum by scrum. See how that goes. You can watch them at breakdowns, etc. You can also read what the referee wrote about it. So when you prepare for the game, you can have as much information to make your performance as good as possible. Now, when we have meetings, you're going to put clips in. The referees will be selected every week that's actually going to be presenting their game with their referee coach. And even if you're not selected, you can still put clips in if you want us to review it. If there's time in the 1 hour meeting that we have to review the clips, then we will, right? But you can select a clip in your playlist and you click add to meetings. It automatically goes to the meetings. You can select the meeting. So in our case, it would be D1A or NARA. You're going to select the folder. You're going to say tackling not rolling away, and you make comments about it and click upload post. It'll automatically put the clip into the folder for us to review. So I think that is just a very basic outline. You can get as much out of the system depending on how much you put in, and also when, if there's any sort of tips that you want, ask your peers. There's a lot of referees that have been in the system for a long time. A lot of the referee coaches have been in the system a long time. They understand it, and it's quite extensively used, so you can always learn best practices. I know that we have some of the referees or referee coaches can code games in basically like a half an hour. They'll have the whole game coded already, so but I think the important thing is, and we can see this here in this game, for instance, if we look at all of it, you can see the amount of work that the referee puts in to the clips, reviewing themselves and making sure that they can be the best version of themselves, right? Um, Always learn. Remember, nobody else is going to see this except um, the referee coach and referee managers and then other referees down the road. But we're all here to learn from each other. So it's just the team coaches that can't see your clips. So we also have the stats section here. You can go and look at the stats, like for instance, select the competition. You can see the stats of penalties for and against, the competencies achieved, etc. You can work through those if you need to. But the system is here to help you to support your development as a referee. Please always feel free to reach out to us, to management, or to other referees if you need more assistance.